The first 10,000 days on Mars began with a landing that was as much a culmination of human ambition as it was the beginning of an entirely new chapter for humanity. The settlers, known as the Pioneer 30, had been carefully selected from a pool of the most talented, adaptable, and courageous individuals the Earth had to offer. Each of them had spent years training, not just in the technical skills required to establish a colony on another planet, but also in the psychological resilience needed to thrive in isolation and adversity. Their mission was to transform a barren, lifeless world into a new home for humanity. The landing itself was a historic event. As the spacecraft descended through the thin Martian atmosphere, the crew's voices crackled over the communication systems back to Earth. "We're seeing the surface now. It's redder than I imagined," said Captain Elena Morales, the mission leader. The entire world held its breath as the lander touched down on a flat expanse near the edge of a large crater. Applause erupted in mission control, and across Earth, billions watched the live stream, marveling at the audacity of human exploration. The first days were grueling. After confirming the lander's integrity and unloading supplies, the crew set to work building the initial habitat. The Mars Base Alpha, a series of interconnected domes made of regolith-reinforced polymer, provided the crew with breathable air, temperature control, and protection from radiation. Despite months of simulations, the Martian environment presented unexpected challenges. Dust storms, fine as talcum powder, infiltrated seals, and caused mechanical failures. The thin atmosphere and weaker gravity required constant recalibration of tools and equipment. Every task took twice as long as planned, but the settlers were undeterred. They worked long hours, driven by the knowledge that their success could pave the way for future generations. As the first weeks turned into months, the settlers established routines. Farming became a central focus, as self-sufficiency was critical. The agricultural module, a pressurized greenhouse filled with soil and seeds from Earth, became a place of both work and solace. Crops like potatoes, lettuce, and wheat were chosen for their hardiness and nutritional value. Watching green shoots emerge from Martian soil provided the settlers with a profound sense of hope. "It's like Earth is taking root here," said Dr. Amina Patel, the colony's botanist. Social bonds formed quickly among the crew. With no sunsets or sunrises to mark the passage of time, they created their own rituals. Friday evenings became movie nights, projected onto the interior of the habitat dome. Birthdays were celebrated with makeshift cakes, baked from a blend of wheat flour and algae protein. Despite the camaraderie, the psychological toll of isolation was ever present. Arguments over trivial matters sometimes escalated, and the crew psychologist, Dr. Marcus Reed, played a vital role in maintaining harmony. He organized weekly group discussions and encouraged open communication to address grievances before they festered. By the end of the first Martian year, the colony had grown more stable. A second mission brought additional settlers and supplies, including advanced robotics for construction and mining. The newcomers, dubbed the Frontier 20, injected fresh energy into the settlement. Together, the expanded crew began mining ice from subsurface reserves, providing a steady water supply and allowing for the production of oxygen and hydrogen. Solar panels, initially sufficient for the base's limited energy needs, were supplemented by a small nuclear reactor. With power no longer a concern, the settlers turned their attention to exploration. Rovers equipped with advanced sensors and drilling equipment ventured farther from the base, mapping the terrain and searching for resources. They discovered ancient riverbeds and signs that water had once flowed freely on the planet. These findings reignited debates back on Earth about the possibility of ancient Martian life. For the settlers, the discoveries underscored the fragility of their existence. This planet was once alive in its own way, mused Dr. Ethan Song, the colony's geologist. Maybe we can make it alive again. As the years passed, the settlers' initial sense of adventure gave way to a deeper connection to their new home. Children were born, marking the beginning of the first generation of Martian-born humans. This milestone brought both joy and complexity. How would these children, with no memory of Earth, perceive their identity? What values and traditions would they inherit? The settlers debated these questions during long nights under the transparent dome, where they could gaze at the stars and reflect on their place in the universe. Education became a priority. The colony's engineers designed a virtual learning system, combining lessons from Earth with new curriculum tailored to the Martian environment. Subjects like survival skills, planetary science, and engineering were taught alongside art, music, and philosophy. "We're not just surviving here," said Captain Morales during a colony-wide meeting. "We're building a culture." The transition from a fragile outpost to a thriving community was marked by milestones. The settlers constructed a larger habitat, capable of supporting hundreds of inhabitants. Underground tunnels, insulated from radiation, housed research labs, workshops, and storage facilities. They began experimenting with terraforming techniques, such as releasing greenhouse gases to thicken the atmosphere. These efforts were slow and incremental, but each small success brought them closer to their goal of making Mars more hospitable. By the 5,000th day, the colony had achieved a level of stability that once seemed impossible. Communication with Earth, while still delayed by up to 20 minutes, became more frequent and collaborative. Scientists on both planets worked together to develop new technologies, from advanced water filtration systems to bioreactors capable of producing medicines. The settlers' ingenuity inspired awe back on Earth, where their accomplishments were celebrated as proof of humanity's resilience. However, life on Mars was not without tragedy. Accidents claimed lives, and each loss was deeply felt by the close-knit community. A memorial garden was established, where the names of the departed were etched into stones gathered from the Martian surface. "Their sacrifices remind us of the cost of exploration," said Dr. Patel during the dedication ceremony, "but also of its value." By the 10,000th day, Mars was no longer a mere frontier. It was home. The colony had grown into a self-sustaining settlement, with a population of over 1,000. The settlers had transformed the red planet into a place of life, innovation, and hope. They had faced countless challenges, from mechanical failures to personal conflicts, but their determination had prevailed. Looking back on their journey, Captain Morales reflected, "We came here to survive. But we've done so much more than that. We've created a new world." The story of the first 10,000 days on Mars was a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. It was a reminder that, even in the face of insurmountable odds, humanity's spirit of exploration and creativity could overcome any obstacle. As the settlers looked to the future, they knew their journey was far from over. They were not just building a colony. They were laying the foundation for a civilization that would one day span the stars.